Here we go.
Who the hell are you, man?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
We are the knights!
Hold on to your butts.
And now for something completely different.
Hello out there, and welcome to the Knights of Nerd 2 podcast. We're a podcast for all things nerd. My name is Chris. I'm your host. I'm here in person with...
I think I wasted my entire year watching crap. It's Sean.
And on the Skype hotline, we have...
I mean, I could play a piano with my butt, but no one's making a movie out of me. It's Sam.
And, yeah, I guess, of course I meant this metaphorically. It's John.
Well, anyway, guys, we have our year in review episode. So contrary to other years that we've done, we're actually going to merge this with our normal weekly cadence of a couple of movie reviews here. We have sort of hit this Oscar season and award season, so we have two movies that were, let's call them up for contention, that we teased last week, and we'll do this week. We have Maestro and, God, I'm blanking on the Holdovers. I'm sorry, the Holdovers. So we'll do that at the beginning, and then at the end we'll finish off with our awards that we're going to give out for the end of the year. I know it's a little premature, but this is typically when we do it. But let's start off with just quick news. Sam, this is more for you. I saw in the news today that we did launch our first non-manned mission to the moon. Did you see that?
First of the commercial program where they're relying on private sector to launch some probes to the moon.
Yes,
but it failed.
And you think the private sector would do something correctly? Nope. The government didn't run this one, folks. It's the opposite with space programs. Whenever the government does it, it's fine. Whenever private sector does it, it fails miserably. So now, long story short, the spacecraft is using the sun to steer itself, but for some reason, one of the boosters is going off on a weird angle, so it has to spend more gas to correct itself. So we're not going to be able to land and take back off from the moon. We're probably just going to orbit, maybe, or crash. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But there's some things on the spacecraft I saw. I didn't read the full list. I think there's a whole bunch of music and stuff on there, and I think there
was the
human
remains of Gene Roddenberry and I think a couple other Star Trek people, but I can't remember.
Yeah. So not the best launch, but
no.
But it's a start. The fact that it's getting on, I'm kind of liking the idea of humans going back to the moon. So, but we'll see.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you heard the other news. Artemis 2 got pushed back 10 months. It's supposed to go November this year. It's now scheduled for September of next year.
Because of this error?
No, nothing to do with this.
Okay.
It was because they want to look more at the heat shield. There were some issues with the heat shield in the Artemis 1. It was just a bit too hot. So they want to really look at that. And the mobile launch pad, they want to reinforce that a bit more because that took a lot more damage on Artemis 1 than they thought.
Fair enough. All right, well, good space update right there. I know we're excited about it, at least.
Yeah.
So that's that. Shall we move on to our we got to move on to our movies here.
Okay.
So,
well, there was some movie news. I mean, there was a lot of movie news, but there was very specific, like Knights of Nerditude type movie news. We've got a Star Wars movie, guys.
Yeah. Huge.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Which is going to be made by the team behind the show.
Yeah, it was. There was talks like behind the scenes, like people saying, "Oh, the most recent season of Mando isn't coming out. They're actually going to turn it into a movie." And obviously, like those,
rumored.
Those rumors are just like, no, they're not. And then this comes out, it's like, oh, maybe they are actually doing a movie. But I believe we're still getting season, was that 4 next year?
I don't think they announced the new season
Have
yet.
they not announced the new? So maybe it is.
I don't
gonna
think
be
they
a man.
officially have. No.
I don't
So
think
then
they've
maybe it is
officially
the next
announced yet.
season. It's just going to be a movie.
I mean, I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
The series, if they end the series, it tied it up rather nicely. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still don't quite understand why they need Grogu though. I mean, we have our theories, but they don't like come out and say this is why.
Why were we?
So, well, I mean, the whole thing's about how Moff Gideon was trying to get
To clone him.
Grogu. Was it to clone him?
Or to give Jedi powers? Like
Was it?
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, everything's just rumored. They didn't actually like come out and say why he wanted
fair
Grogu.
enough. Okay, I get you.
So,
Well, either way. Okay, Star Wars news, I guess.
That would be the first Star Wars movie theatrically released in. I'm going to say it's going to come out earlier than 2025. So that would be 6 years at that point. Which we'll see if this movie comes out. What do you guys feel like it actually might happen, or?
I'm lukewarm. I'm 30-70. It's 30-70. It's going to happen.
Listen, we're either going to get a new season of Mando or this movie, one or the other.
I'm okay. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, they announced it, so I can't see why it wouldn't be a movie.
No,
You don't think there's a possibility that it could turn into like a 3-part Disney Plus, Hulu, ABC like show or
Kind
something?
of like what they sort of did with Obi-Wan, where it like started off as a movie, and then eventually they were like, we'll do a TV show instead.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Something's coming out of this.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if there's not more Mandalorian content.
Yeah.
Which is probably different than everything else we've talked about before with, all these spate of canceled Star Wars movies that pretty much have lined the last, 5 years now? Pretty much everything since episode 9. So
Be nice for a little Star Wars break too. Not gonna lie. A little break. I think a Star Wars break for a few years would be fine. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, in truth, I would not be opposed to like 3 years later after the Mando season. Like, I would not be opposed to that.
I feel like personally, we need less Marvel in general and more just Star Wars movies over Star Wars content.
My problem is they haven't put a good product with the movies forward.
I agree.
For a
So
while.
they need to focus on rather than doing what they've done, which was just greenlit a bunch of movies and pump them out as fast as they could till like the well ran dry and pissed everyone off. Rather than doing that, just like actually come up with a good plan.
But that's not going to be for a while. Like, I'd
And
rather
I'm okay
them
with that.
take the time, sit down,
let them take the time
and focus on
in
what's...
like 5-6 years. Let's have a new Star Wars movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
like, take a hiatus with Star Wars for a little while. Focus on getting your crap together because Disney is not really. Let's face it, all streamers are struggling a little bit. But take a little break, set a plan. Don't set it, forget it, but like, come up with a good plan. Don't throw movies out there and then 6 months later have to cancel the Rogue Squadron movie or whatever the hell it was that was supposed to come out. Don't do stuff like that.
I feel like this is.
What are we getting for Star Wars TV this year? We're not getting Andor.
No, but that was
Skeleton Crew, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The strike has really thrown a wrench into a lot of this.
Yeah.
The
was-
Acolyte's still being made, right?
I don't know.
I think it's being made. I don't know if it's going to be available this year. I mean, the problem is with some of this is, it does require some, heavy post production. So that will delay it a bit.
There will be a trailer during the Super Bowl for something.
Maybe.
I think there will be something.
There might be. I mean, I think, and we are due for a preview episode, which might be our next time we talk to you guys. But this year's looking pretty thin. And, with the strike, that really messed stuff up. I mean, at least like COVID slowed stuff down. Like there was just nothing for 3 or 4 months there, and that's going to really throw off, especially like a lot of the stuff. Like they're only going to release certain things in the summer. So we'll see. We've got Kraven the Hunter.
I
know everyone's been waiting for that. Did you
Dune
have
Part 2.
I've been craving it.
Dune is
Craven the Crab.
almost 2 months away, so we're almost landing the Thropter there. Hopefully,
You know what's going to be my
it seems
sleeper?
like. But by the way, it on Dune news, it's like almost assured there's going to be a third one, which is just awesome.
That one's going to be Messiah, right? Doing Messiah,
Right.
the second book.
Can I call my
Villeneuve is saying he's going to do that one either next or after, or do one in between or something like that.
I'm going to call my sleeper pick now for box office. I think it's not going to be the highest, but I think this is going to like knock the socks off of what people expected. Is the Inside Out 2 movie?
Nice.
It's the Disney. Is it Pixar or Disney, Sean?
It's Pixar.
Pixar. The Pixar. Yeah, the animated movie. If they release it in the summer, like this thing's gonna be a blowout. I think this thing's gonna be huge.
Well, it could be like what came out last year that people were like, this was shitty, but then it just
Elemental.
didn't go away.
Elemental's actually really good. Did you watch it?
I watched it this weekend.
It's really good.
It's actually not that bad.
I
put it
like
on the
it
list.
a lot.
Yeah.
Is it on there? Put it on there. That was actually a genuinely good movie. Like I actually, it had all the feels. It wasn't really long. It had good elements. For pun intended, but I like it.
Chris, I like that call though, because you do have these movies where it's like the kids have to go somewhere. Like
Mhm.
you're gonna still go to the movies, even if the kids have seen it 3 times. You'll still go to the movies, and if there's literally nothing else out, then who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? The reason why I'm saying it's going to be bigger is the trailer implemented just one new character, and it's going to bring in I don't want to say it's just going to bring in the females above like young teens who would typically watch this kind of movie. It's going to bring in the adults. Like,
Oh yeah.
my wife will watch this movie just because anxiety enters the picture. Just because the feeling of anxiety enters the
I
picture.
believe there's more feelings other than anxiety that do enter the picture.
I think, it seems like there's more.
I think
they upgraded the board.
Yeah.
And the big red button,
Right.
which we all know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and I mean, it helps that the first one was like good. I mean, I still feel for Bing Bong.
no, but it made you feel, right?
Yeah.
It made you feel.
Bing Bong is just like hurts. And it's like Richard Kind, and like Richard Kind's awesome.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep.
When did this movie? Did that win an Oscar? I know it was nominated. Who won?
I think it must have won that year.
It better not have been Encanto. No, it wasn't.
No, that wasn't the
Encanto.
same. God, that was not the same.
No, Disney wouldn't release both of those in the same year.
Yeah.
When was Inside Out? Was that like 2018?
No.
2015.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so that's been a while.
That wasn't Frozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was Frozen 2015 too?
I don't know.
That's close.
I think Frozen might have even been before that. I don't know. 2015. I don't know if it's just been whatever the previous 8 years have been, but like, goddamn, 2015 seems like forever ago.
It does, and it's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's technically 9 years ago at this point, right?
Well, anyway, I guess.
Anyway,
next
we should have a whole episode. Just talking
Inside
about
Out
years.
did win Best Animated Feature, but it also was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Good.
Yeah.
It deserved it.
Yes,
So
I agree.
I think that's. We'll talk about it next when we do the preview. But since we brought it up, I just figured I'd say that.
You
now.
want to know a skill that, speaking of Disney and whatnot, a skill that I discovered this weekend so we got the snowstorm. I threw on, I think it was just Disney Channel because they were just doing movies the whole time. I have this amazing skill of walking in, seeing less than a second of the movie and knowing exactly what movie it is.
Yeah.
So like the first one is like the beginning. I was like, "Ooh, what movie is this?" And then right away it shows like a picture of a forest with a castle in the background. I was like, "Oh, Beauty and the Beast."
Yeah.
And then another, like, I went off.
Oh, like the classic Disney animated movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, because I was gonna say, because Pixar, like, the style does sort of change each movie, but that's good, Sean.
And then I left, and then another movie started playing. Didn't see the intro. I just walked in, saw a bunch of tents in a forest. I was like, "Oh, Brave."
We'll have to do this one time.
You know what you have?
What?
You have dad memory.
No, this is all pre-dad.
No, this is
Sean,
dad
This is all
memory.
pre-dad.
have you ever played this game on the internet? It's framed.wtf, where it's just a
No.
single frame of a movie, and you guess the movie, and if you get it wrong, they show you another frame. It's kind of like Wordle for movies.
Okay, I would be down on that.
What is it called?
You should try that out. It's
What is-
framed.wtf. Because there's some, it's hilarious. Like, you're like, oh, I know exactly what that is. Others are movies you've seen a lot, but it's just not like something you
Mhm.
necessarily
It's
would associate.
The obscure screenshot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I do know there's this a TikTok account that's like name this movie and they'll play the first like 20 seconds, which is usually like the opening
Yeah.
the companies and whatnot, and like a little bit of the movie. And sometimes I can get it off of the music, but like there's so many, I'm like, I have no idea what this is. And I like click on and be like, oh, it was Twilight. I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
All the times you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
well,
To not know, I mean, like, come on.
Right? I mean, come on.
Speaking of-
speaking of Twilight.
oh, okay. Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say let's talk about Maestro.
I was gonna say, speaking of showing the opening scene of movies, did you catch the one for the Holdovers?
Oh.
They showed the
opening
old like
Oh, yeah.
Miramax.
All right,
They
do we
showed the
want
old.
to talk holdovers first, or do we want to talk
We could do Maestro.
Do Maestro first? All right, let's go right into Maestro first. The movie I didn't see.
All right,
so,
sorry. Movie,
so it was a movie with Bradley Cooper,
it's
and that's as
period
far as
piece.
I got.
Maestro, what is written, directed, and starring Bradley Cooper as Leonard Bernstein. A movie about Leonard Bernstein's life, and especially his family life and his other sexual mores. I don't know. Anyway, he was gay. I don't know if you know that. But the movie definitely wants to tell you that. Yeah, I mean, he was.
Let's follow standard protocols. He was bi here.
I think he was probably at least a little bi.
Well, he did father children.
Right.
So,
Gay people can't do that.
well,
anyway.
with a woman, you can, except he left a man to be with his future wife and mother of his children, and then went back to a man. So I'm not going to lie. I feel like that's the definition of bi. But
I
could be
agree
wrong.
with you, Chris. I got very strong bi vibes, especially with that comment where he's like, he goes up to his former boyfriends, him and his wife. He's like talking to their little baby. He's like, I slept with both your parents.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just like, yeah, I think he was bi, but
yeah, he was a real connoisseur of all mankind.
yes.
And well, I guess I'll jump into my opinion of this movie. That's all the movie really wants you to understand.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really
Yep.
about anything else other than who Leonard Bernstein like had sex with, and then his wife, and
Nothing else.
yeah, okay. So like, I really hated the framing of this movie, and it left me like, I was sort of like, why did we do this? Like, this is sort of like making a movie about like, I mean, Leonard Bernstein's like, he's not like a figure that like you're probably aware of the name. You might be aware of like sort of like some details. Yeah, Chris is shaking.
Nope.
Yeah,
No clue.
exactly. Well, I mean, you've heard the REM song, so at least you probably got that.
Yeah.
But,
Leonard Bernstein.
which is in the movie, Sean. You
Is
can
it
appreciate
really?
it. Yeah.
All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
nice. I scream that part every time it comes on.
So, yeah, no, it's not like Leonard, but it's not like he's the Beatles or Elvis, But the movie sort of like speaks to you on a level as if like you have this fluency in someone who like, I don't want to like always go into something and like criticize it for what it's not or what it's not trying to do, because like clearly, sometimes projects just go in a different direction, and like that's okay. But it was framed essentially saying like the most interesting part about him is that he slept around, but was still like pretty true and in many ways loyal to his wife. And he also happened to be a conductor. And then, let's just go watch him conduct in a cathedral in like what seems to be an incredibly moving and powerful scene for like 6 minutes. but then I have no idea like any of the context around it
Yeah.
or why this is important or what even this means or
No.
anything. It's devoid of all the like actual like larger impacts he had on the world, which again, I don't even really know that well. I'll be honest with you, I learned more about Leonard Bernstein from the fucking movie Tar last year. Like than this movie.
Can I expand on that a little bit?
Sure, Chris.
Because you're absolutely right. So after this movie, I'm like, who the hell is Leonard Bernstein? Wikipedia, and it's like really like musical director. This is what he's known for. He's like the first cross Atlantic director in both Europe, and he's like one of the big guys for first time American director.
Yeah,
like
he's
huge,
one of the
huge.
most important.
Yeah, one of the most
composers,
important composers of the age of that era.
Right.
And after you watch this movie, you're like, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that because when he was directing, when I was watching that scene, he was directing the church. I'm like, all right, there was no setup for this. Okay, that sucks. But this is clearly important because it's going on for a long time. But immediately gets overshadowed by the fact that his wife turns up and he hugs her. And it seems happy about that. I'm like, wait, they were just fighting like 10 minutes ago. So clearly this movie is about the relationship between him and his wife.
Yeah. And for a movie that likes to take the plot to a screeching halt just so we can have two characters talk to each other about like next to nothing, they don't explain anything.
No, they don't.
Like
it really does not give me enough of like explaining that this guy like broke through a wall with being a composer. American composers at the time, from what I got from the movie, they're just not existent elsewhere. They're just not existent. And then this guy like shattered through that wall, and it was because he was like a backup player. And then he had his shot and he took it. And then that's how it happened. It seems like, but I didn't get that a lot throughout the whole movie. The whole movie was literally his relationship with his wife and his other boys that he's.
And, we spend like 20 minutes of like his wife dying from cancer, and personally was not like the best. Easiest thing to watch given my personal circumstances, but like even then like did not seem like a great use of the movie overall of just like like we've seen that so many times too, like it's just what's so disappointing about that of just the framing of it, because it's like I didn't hate the dialogue, I liked the performances. I thought Bradley Cooper's a little bit over the top, but okay, whatever. There's a lot of this that's really good. Like, I think he has a good eye. There's a lot of really, like, nice composed shots. That 6-minute scene where we've been talking about in the cathedral, like, that's a great, powerful moment. There's a lot to technically like about this movie. It's just in service of, I don't know what. Like, it's literally... what was it, 2017 or 2018 Oscars, the one where he was A Star Is Born and lost Best Oscar or Best Actor to Rami Malek in Queen. Like, it's almost like the lesson he learned from that is like, oh, I need to play a gay musician so I'll get an Oscar.
So yeah, as I finished this movie, I was sitting back reflecting on it, and I go, this is the most Oscar bait crap that Netflix can put forward, because this movie would never have been made or even considered for Oscar contention if he wasn't gay. Because you're looking at it and it's like the cast is all white, this movie would not be nominated unless you have to look at all those like back end stuff, like the studio executives or whatever it was has a diverse board or stuff, whatever it was. This movie would never be considered if he wasn't gay or bisexual, whatever you want to do.
No, I mean, I think that's a strong.
I was reflecting on this movie would never have been made if that wasn't the case.
No, I mean, he's Leonard Bernstein, so like, I mean, like, yeah, you don't know it, but like in the artistic community, he's a big name. So like, yeah, they would have still made this. And it's Bradley Cooper.
They would not. You're telling me they would have made this movie if he wasn't bisexual, in the hopes of winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
In the 20s or early 1900s.
No.
They would not have.
like 40s and wait. What
Was
are you
it-
talking about?
When was
when
this?
it takes place?
When was this made? Yeah.
It starts in the
I don't-
40s. It's like
It doesn't start in the
1942 is the opening scene.
They would not have made. It would not have come out. This would not. They would not have done this movie. They would not have signed off if they wanted to make an Oscar-worthy movie about Leonard Bernstein or whatever it was. They wouldn't have said yes to this.
They would absolutely
No way.
say yes to this.
No way.
I-
No,
I-
because
I
it wouldn't
don't-
be considered. It'd be whiteification again. It'd be the whole Green Book thing all over again.
I don't think.
There's
Yeah,
there's
I
so
don't.
many there's so many white people. I hate to say it like this, but there's like nothing that would say there's nothing that would be the antithesis of Oscar so white.
No,
Or-
I mean,
or
I don't.
there's nothing on that like minority spectrum that would scream this is an Oscar worthy movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a period piece about like it's only there's only going to be so many views it. Like, I mean, he was Jewish, like he was white Jewish. Everyone was around him, spoke in a mid-Atlantic accent, and like they couldn't be more white waspy. Otherwise, if they tried, although his wife is Chilean and German or something. Don't ask how the German works in there. Anyway, yeah, I don't quite buy that. I think it's just like something that was a passion project. And if you notice, the producers on this were Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg, among others. Both of them wanted to do this at some point. And then sort of Bradley Cooper found, I don't know, enough to like convince them that he wanted to do it. But yeah, I just think it's let down by the framing, and I think the story more than the script itself. I think Bradley Cooper needs to maybe go adapt like a good script versus like just writing one on his own. Because I think he's a good actor. I don't think anyone denies that. I think he's like he's better than like a George Clooney for my money as a director. But he's somewhere between serviceable and actually good. He's done 2 movies, so like it's tough to tell, but it is tough to be like writer, director, and like guy who's in every scene more or less.
Especially when he changed his physique for the like you could tell.
I was gonna say,
went through a
it's
transformation.
hard to be like Stallone,
Yeah, I know. God didn't make 2 Sylvester Stallones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I will say this, John. I do disagree with you on one of your points, and that is I didn't think the dialogue was very good. It was kind of he was kind of trying to be Sorkin. There was like a lot of like speechification, but like also in this sort of semi-naturalist way of like people kind of talking over each other, but like it just ends up everybody seems to be talking at each other, not with each other.
Yeah, and that sort of thing where I've had read 2 sort of very elitist critiques of this movie. The first one is actually very much on what you're saying, Sam, of like, smart, literate, well, they don't actually talk like that all the time, especially like in parties. Like they're just people just aren't like that,
Yeah.
The other critique, which I found really interesting and is like so beyond my level of like music appreciation, but was just like all the music is Leonard Bernstein more or less, or like, and it was just it was that like the compositions and the conducting of the music, like it wasn't original tracks. It was recorded for the movie, and it was like, oh yeah, the conducting on all these tracks are like crap. That was the like music critic from the LA Times, which I was like, yeah, okay, if you say it, dude, I'll
take your word for it.
No, but
I'm not gonna know.
Did you notice in the it was off though. The syncing was off with him conducting. It wasn't matching. It wasn't matching. Yeah.
I wasn't getting that. I kind of wish I saw this in theaters just because I feel like concert movies like this is just like it kind of takes it up another level when you have the big like movie theater speakers on it.
The auditorium speakers would have helped with that particular scene. It would have helped.
For sure.
I will say this. I do always find it somewhat annoying when they do these biopics like this. And they just tell the whole story, like the whole life, without, like, I always appreciate ones where it's like, okay, we're going to have like a story centered around like a day, and maybe we'll have flashbacks and stuff.
Or like
Something to kind of
Lincoln.
ground the story.
Yeah, like how Lincoln is like, it shows his death because it's like it's tough not to at that point, but it's really about the passing of the. Oh man, Sam, you're going to
13th.
correct me if I'm wrong. 13th Amendment, the Emancipation Proclamation and all that. Although I think that's even happened before, but
Yeah, that's
the 13th Amendment specifically. But yeah, no, that might have been helpful. I mean, I just feel like I was kind of robbed because, like, let's be real, they're not going to make another Leonard Bernstein movie, maybe in 20
No.
years, but like they're probably not. So it's just weird to, like, for me, you don't really understand like what was the special sauce of. Oh, God, I hate saying that. What made him unique as a person? That like no one else could be Leonard Bernstein, and you get glimpses of that, especially like at the end when he's at, I think it might be Tanglewood, when he's directing this orchestra, or he's sort of tutoring or mentoring this prospective conductor, this younger conductor who's coming up, and he kind of like steps in and forget exactly like what he says, but it sort of shows you like what was the magic of him as a person. Which is great because then it's like cross-cut exactly to like him with the conductor like on the dance floor at like a rave, like. But you kind of get an insight into like why he was the person he was, or why he was special in his field, and why we know the name Leonard Bernstein. Whereas the rest of the movie is just like, yeah, he was gay, he slept around, he cheated on his wife, but was loyal to her and to his family to some extent. But
I mean, like
open marriage, I think, is what.
Yeah, it was like an
seemed
open
more.
marriage.
It seemed more like, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like you get that with like a lot of biopics, especially about like artists or scientists or anything, where it's like I kind of sometimes just want, okay, movie, just sit me down and explain to me what makes this person special. What made them special at their craft?
Yeah,
right. It makes me appreciate the Queen movie a lot more.
Well,
I was Helen Mirren.
Bohemian Rhapsody. No, Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe if you want to go that way.
I mean, that's a good. I like that too. Sam, we never did Crown Corner. Someday.
I haven't finished the second half yet.
Okay. When you do, we'll do Crown Corner.
Anyway, should we get this a number so we can move on here?
Hold on, really quick. I just have a question. Like, this is like a food for thought. So seeing that they made this film, obviously we know in the pipeline in the not too distant future we're gonna get a John Williams movie. When
do you
how
think is that announced, or are you just
no I'm just why would they not do one? I'm thinking
shocked
after he's retired at this point.
Yeah,
Indy was his last movie.
Well,
he said he was like, I mean, I got nothing going on. If
yeah,
it works
oh,
out,
okay.
I heard that too, where he's like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not actively pursuing anything, but if something comes up,
Yeah, look, if Steven rings him up
actually-
and says, "Hey, look," he'll say, "Pick up that phone in a second."
yeah.
But
so there has to be like a doc by like Spielberg or somebody big, right? That like hasn't been released yet, and like maybe is like waiting for it to be a posthumous thing or something like that.
Right.
So
Like there has to be some John Williams.
when did John Williams receive the Lifetime Achievement? Right, already.
Probably
Because I know
a while
Steven
ago.
Spielberg received one, and then I want to say like it was 10 years, and then we got that Spielberg doc on HBO.
Okay.
So if he got that Lifetime Achievement Award, John Williams, which I think he probably would have, right?
I'm
feel
not
like
saying a
has
doc.
to.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not saying a doc. I'm saying a full-on like movie about his life. At what point? How long down the road are we talking for this movie to come out? Do you guys think?
if they're doing it.
No, I mean they're gonna.
Oh
do one.
well,
It's not announced or anything, but obviously, like this is a big name in movies. There's gonna be a movie about
I'd say
I don't know.
within 10, 15 years.
Is he?
Okay.
Is he interesting though?
Yeah, that would be.
It doesn't
my
matter.
point. It's like, is he interested?
I think it matters though.
I don't think so.
See, I think
Was
you'd have to
Mank
make
interesting? Because
No, Mank wasn't interesting.
Well, he was like an alcoholic, and told a rich guy to go F himself.
Look,
but,
I think the John Williams movie would work best if it was sort of like not a buddy comedy, but like a relationship blooming between him and the director, like that he's going to essentially be with.
Because
I just
you
want to see
imagine-
John Williams and Steven Spielberg solve crimes.
Yeah, buddy comedy. I mean, like I'm sure
Cop comedy.
I'm sure Beverly Hills 5 needs needs a couple
have
guys.
any of you guys seen the John
You know that's
Williams
coming,
bit?
right? By the way,
Beverly
John-
Hills
there's-
Five?
Beverly
there's
Hills Cop, yeah.
there's a Beverly Hills Cop show. Yeah,
We saw the trailer. Yeah.
But have you guys ever seen the John Williams bit from The Whitest Kids You Know?
No.
Where it's like how he writes his music. It's worth a watch on YouTube. Like it's hilarious.
All right.
Just like him walking around going bum 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 bum. Like, oh man, it's so great. But yeah, so let's give this a
let's give it numbers. I'm
I'll
going.
go- you're going. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be not as high as you guys. I'm thinking 6, 7.
I'm gonna go 7-3.
All right, Sam.
Yeah, I'm going 7-3 too.
All right,
Okay.
not bad.
All right, we got another movie. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to push it along.
No.
so we
Yeah,
can
please,
get
let's push it.
going here.
The Holdovers. Now we finally get to talk about this one. And yes, Chris, you brought up how it was like the classic Universal intro.
Miramax,
Miramax,
Universal,
yeah.
and I think there was something else. Right?
And well, so this film takes place in the 70s. It's obviously it's a fictitious story, but it takes place in the 70s. And that's the one thing that I pulled away from this, especially like just watching the intro, like them on the campus, like walking around, and I just felt like I was watching like a 70s, like maybe Woody Allen film or like something along those lines, where it just felt from that decade.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I got Rudy B-roll.
Yeah,
Feels.
yeah. I mean, Rudy
Well, the
is
campus,
what,
Rudy
Rudy is what,
campus
80s,
shots,
right?
Well, yeah, I think Rudy is early 80s, right?
Yeah. So this was they did intentionally, even though it was filmed on digital, they intentionally like grained it up and dirtied it up, and
it made it work.
It feels like it's a movie from the 70s, and I love that. That artistic choice really worked for me for this movie.
So the movie, sorry, for those who don't know, it's a movie starring Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, and Divine Joy Randolph, and it's about a essentially during winter, but they're at a private boarding school for boys, Barton. It's called Barton School.
High school.
Yeah, high school for boys in Massachusetts, and it's over winter break when kids can't go home to their parents. There's these holdovers that have to stay throughout Christmas break, and it ends up being this one boy with the teacher and a cook who's there, and it's essentially they all sort of are isolated individuals, and because they're forced to be together, they all essentially form this friendship.
Yeah.
So
for whatever reason, each character has that reason to
be alone,
withdraw from society.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the cook whose son and not quite husband, but like fiance, both died at what'd she say, 23? Like neither of them lived past 23. Paul Giamatti just kind of, I mean, it's revealed why later on in the movie, but like he's just a curmudgeon-y like professor.
He's like resigned to be something that he doesn't loathe, but it's sort of like a just basic satisfaction in life.
Then you've got the rich kid whose life is just behind the scenes, just in shambles, dealing with so much in his life that he doesn't let the world see. And it's just kind of how these three bond together, form a relationship over the process of winter break. And I mean,
it's a nice condensed story.
Yeah.
It's condensed to these, I forget how many days it was. It was like 10 days or something.
No, it was a little bit more than 10 days.
Well,
it was like
bad
from
part
Christmas
of the movie. They started
Eve,
timing the days in the beginning of the movie, and we lost all of that at the end.
I don't know if we lost it or I just stopped like seeing it.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But it's just like nice character study about these three characters and how they're dealing with their stress in life and like unraveling, I guess, the mystery of why they are the way that they are.
Yeah.
The cook character, she was very upfront about her issues, whereas both the student and Paul Giamatti's character, like, it takes some time for that stuff to unravel, but when you do, you understand why they're the way they are.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to agree with you on that. It was a nice. I'll say it right now. It was a nice story. It was a very nice story to watch. Good feels. It didn't get you super down. It got you just pretty amped up and excited. A good conclusion.
I don't know if it's a good conclusion.
I thought it was better than it could have been, because it could have been a lot
yeah.
worse. There could have been some massive explosion, blow up type thing.
Right.
Not literal explosion, but like,
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically. Look, it was a good story. I felt for the characters.
Yeah.
I just thought it was nice to watch.
Yeah.
It was just a good story. It's not like gonna break any records as on my list of being like top movie ever and all this other stuff. But look, Paul Giamatti, I think, did very, very well.
Yeah,
I think he did, and he's the standout in the.
He won
the
the Golden Globe for this.
Did he win? I
did.
had the list. I forgot the list. I think him and the cook are
she did
are very, very good with this. The guy, the kid, not so much.
He was okay.
Just because he.
I thought he was.
I thought he did.
You know what the story is with him?
Like the actor or the character?
Yeah, the actor.
No.
He's literally just a kid at the school they were filming at.
Oh, really? All right. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I think it's really good, and like there's stuff too that I've watched this now twice that stood out. No, I thought everyone's good. I mean, obviously, like Paul Giamatti's Paul Giamatti. Like he's like I don't think there's anything I've ever seen him in and like didn't like. I mean, not like he's like an all-time great actor or anything like that, but I've just always liked when he shows up. Like even when like he shows up for like 4 minutes of Saving Private Ryan, you're like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
75% into this movie, I was on Wikipedia. I'm like, does Paul Giamatti have a lazy eye? Because I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all. So, apparently he does not, and it was just part of the thing.
Yeah, and I think he keeps flipping it too.
He had to. He had to, because at the end of the movie, he's like, it's this one. As he's driving away in the car, I'm like, no, it's not, Paul. It's not the right one.
It's such a good bit. Yeah, I really love this movie too. This is one of my favorites of this year, and just like yeah, Sean. I mean, you're totally right insofar as it's definitely like a tribute to. I mean, specifically, it has the feel as if it's like a '70s movie, but even just like it feels like there was like a 15-year span there where like there was just a crap load of like boarding school / like college movies where it was like Dead Poet Society. Yeah, Chris, even like we were saying, like Rudy, like even like Son of a Woman kind of thing, where like people don't love that movie. It's like the movie Al Pacino got his Oscar on, but people were like, not the best performance. But no, it felt like such a throwback and such like just pleasant. And I think Chris, you said it really well too. Of like doesn't get you too down, though it has a lot of very emotional beats. So there's definitely something to like sort of like hang your hat on there. It's not like hilarious, like it has some like very funny moments, but it's just like a nice movie. Like it's a perfect, and you know what it is too? It's a really nice holiday movie too. Like a little bit different, like not a very like straightforward sort of like too saccharine kind of Christmas movie that we kind of see, more like even just like what a throwback kind of Christmas movie was too, where it's like, not entirely like only about Christmas, but it happens at Christmas, and it's like kind of that sort of feel too. Now I loved it. I thought Paul Giamatti's great. I loved Divine Joy Randolph. Did I get that right?
Yes.
She's really good in this. Like I actually didn't love her in what is it? Only Murders in the Building. She's in. She's the cop, right?
Really? I actually liked her.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I know her from.
Yeah, but I thought she was really good in this, and just like really perfect. By the way, Sam, Sam did not see this one.
No.
You would really like this movie, though.
Yeah.
It seems
This
like
is
it's
the same.
movie
This
I'd
is the
like.
same
I
movie.
was
And
gonna
Paul
say-
Giamatti is a history professor, so like there's a lot of stuff.
Ancient history
Ancient
professor.
Yes,
too.
like
Oh,
Western
wow.
Civ. So he's
And he
this
brings
is-
it up in random like conversations, even if he's not in the conversation.
Yes, yeah, like there's
Oh,
an
the
entire
Santa.
thing
The
where
Santa.
yeah, exactly, where he explains like why Santa is wearing or
Yep.
that the dress of Saint Nicholas as Santa is not what he actually would be wearing.
Right.
To like these two like these two like working class
Backwater-
dudes
yeah.
in like a ball pin bowling alley,
Yeah,
duck-pin bowling alley.
shot in a beer after the shift
Yeah.
type of people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sim, this movie, to give you an idea, very much the feels of like Harry and Tonto.
Like,
So-
it doesn't have that depressing ending, does it?
I mean, the ending is not a happy ending, but like at the same time, it's not depressing.
But
Yeah.
it's not Harry and the Tons.
No,
Harry and
no,
Tons.
no. But
It gives
it's
it
it's
gives
that,
you like good feels towards
yeah.
the future.
So
Like a
like
good-
it's that kind of feel of a movie where it's like it is funny at times,
Like a muted comedy sort of deal.
Yes, because there were times, especially
Dramedy.
towards the end, where I was laughing at Paul Giamatti, like things he was doing, like just like some of the things he was doing was hilarious. But like, like, yeah.
What's the lady? Do you want? The prostitute comes
Oh,
up and he's like, maybe he
A
wants
candy
a candy cane. He's like, I'm pre-diabetic.
Hey, can we circle back to Harry and Tonto real quick? Just because
Sure.
I feel like I couldn't possibly say this if like it wouldn't be our podcast if I didn't make this comment.
Go
But-
ahead.
I feel like Giamatti would have been great in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That's-
Good old
that is-
Connie.
A lot of connections there to make.
That's an Aunt Connie connection right there.
But he's perfect. He should show up in Star Wars at some point.
I feel
Like he doesn't have to be
has,
the main
but-
guy. Yeah, it seems like he has, but
Like he showed up in Amazing Spider-Man. Like,
oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was the Rhino.
oh yeah, that's right. Jesus.
which was funny enough was like his lifelong ambition to be
Yeah.
the Rhino in a
He was-
Spider-Man movie.
What was it on Conan that he was?
Yeah,
on?
it was like it was like
Yeah.
a decade before that movie. He was asked, Conan asked him like, "What's your role you'd love to play?" He's like, "The Rhino."
He's like stupid guy in a mech suit just riding around breaking things. I could do that.
I can do that.
And he did it, and it was awful.
Oh boy.
I mean, he was great, but
Oh
the
yeah,
movie
no,
was
he was
awful.
good. Oh yeah.
You know what? And kind of like an underappreciated thing in this movie too. I just kind of love the soundtrack to it too,
Yeah.
or the sound
Lot
they
of
play. It's
Cat
just this like
Stevens.
very like muted acoustic kind of feel to it. That's just in the background, and it's just a snowing in New England, like in Western Mass. It just oh man,
Yeah.
there's just something. It just warms your heart,
Oh yeah.
It's very familiar.
Yes, and I don't know. I'm probably disposed to feeling that way given where we are, but yeah, just a nice movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to throw out some numbers here?
There's really not much that we could talk about this.
I'm
it's
gonna
just a
give
nice
this
movie.
one an 8.
I'm gonna go. I have no regrets on this. I'm gonna give it a 9-0.
All right. I'm probably going to go with like an 8.6.
Yeah.
It was a solid movie. I really enjoyed this.
You know what I think hurts this a little bit? Not
Mhm.
not necessarily hurts it, but from outside looking in, I think the fact that you don't hit the low lows and the emotions,
Okay.
that could be it.
All right.
That could be the thing that
I'm
it's,
happy.
it's
it
holding it back a little.
I'm
bit.
happy it didn't.
No,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
It
I'm
coulda got
happy
lost
didn't.
in it.
I'm happy
Mhm.
it didn't either. But
And I'm
it's just-
very happy that that Paul Giamatti's character had his "fuck you" moment. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that was the
Yes,
best part.
yes. Okay,
He had
was-
that
was good
moment,
too.
and that's like, granted, now his whole world and his entire life is in shambles because of that moment.
No,
but at least he
it's all
got it.
victorious because he
Yes,
takes a
yes.
swig out of that cognac
Yeah,
bottle.
and then he spits it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the fact that he
that's,
stole that bottle.
Louis Trey's is pretty expensive too. Like that's like even back then that was
Well,
$100
Jim
a bottle.
Jim Beam was $2 at the liquor store
Mhm.
or the packy. So let's just
Yeah,
put that in perspective. It's probably a $20 bottle.
it's a packy. That shows where we're from.
All right.
Definitely worth a watch, and definitely on the
recommend it.
radar for Oscar season. So.
And it's on Peacock.
It's on
too,
it's
so.
on Peacock if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yep. So this will not be our last 2023 movie review. We will actually be doing a few more because we are doing Oscar seasons coming up. We are in award season already, guys. So
I know.
we got to start
sort
of building on that.
So between now and the Oscars, we usually continue to review Oscar movies as they become easily more available to us, and we get an idea as they start announcing the noms.
Typically, it's more the best picture stuff that we'll get into, not necessarily everything else.
Definitely best picture is what we focus on.
But now it's time.
It's
John,
our award season. Yes, it is our award season every year since, God, I don't even know when we started this. We hand out
1908.
Since 1908. We've been doing the Knights of Nerditude presents the Golden Shatner and Aluminum Jar Jar Awards. The Golden Shatners goes to our best picture picks for the year, and the Aluminum Jar Jars go to the worst picks of the year. So, I like to always start with the Golden Shatners because that's always like quick and easy, and then we have a lot more fun when it comes to the Aluminum Jar Jars. So let's start with the Golden Shatners, everyone. We'll do what we always do. We'll just kind of go around, go quick. So we'll start right at the top.
No, skip the
no,
movie.
we always do. We always go start at the top. Start at the top. What was the best movie of the year for you? Obviously, this can change between now and Oscar season because, I mean, we're going to be watching some Oscar award nominees, so this can change. But what was everybody's favorite movie of the year? Best movie?
I have a three-way. Can I say them all quick?
Ooh, three-way over there.
I can't pick between these three.
Okay. What are your three?
Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
All right.
John Wick 4.
Okay.
That's a spectrum.
It is a spectrum.
It is, but these are not my Oscar predictions. These
not
at
all.
My favorite movies of the year were.
Agreed. Sam?
I said Barbie.
Barbie. Okay. John?
I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to do my top 10. I will not expand upon it, though. 10 is Maestro. 9 is May December, a very weird movie. I don't know if we're going to talk about, but it's also on Netflix if you want to check it out. 8 is Barbie. 7, The Iron Claw, one that I do hope we get to at some point. Chris, I feel like that's a good Chris movie.
Okay.
That's talk about like not going too low. That one goes fucking low, dude. That's a rough movie.
So why you recommend it for me? So why is it in my plate?
Chris, you seem like you need to be depressed more.
Exactly.
You're not depressed enough.
Thanks.
6 is Blackberry. 5, The Killer. 4, Mission Impossible. 3, The Holdovers. 2, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is free on Apple this weekend. And then number 1, and this is probably one of my favorite of just the decade, is Oppenheimer, which I've watched I don't know how many times this year. So.
Oh, all right.
All right. And my choice for best movie was the sequel to Oppenheimer, Godzilla -1.
All right. Just the framing.
Yep. We'll skip the. So let's go right into best actor. Who wants to start this one?
I'd go reverse.
All right. I'll go.
Reverse.
All right. So because I really like this movie and I totally forgot about it, but it's like really great. I went with Jorma. Oh God. Tomila from Sisu, the main character of Sisu.
Yeah, that's a good one. He doesn't say a word.
He doesn't say a word till the end, but his presence and everything, just the body language and everything is just amazing.
Could this be international?
It could.
Okay.
Could possibly. But then again, there's Godzilla. So.
Is there any buzz?
I don't think it is. There's another Finnish
I don't think
movie
there
out
is.
there, so I don't think it's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, they pick one for each.
Right.
So
I think it's Godzilla's award to win.
There's
their award.
There's a lot out there, dude. There's so many French movies.
No, I know.
This year.
No, but I'm saying I think it's Godzilla's award. Like Godzilla's going to take that one.
It could
International.
We will see. All right, let's go.
I'm gonna go Giamatti.
Okay.
In the Holdovers?
I really liked him in that movie, in the Holdovers.
Yeah. All right. Sam?
I went a little different direction. I said Stephen King's review of The Flash.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I guess
Could
he
you
was.
share? Could you share that with us? Like, what was that?
What
It
was
was
it? He
bad.
was saying it was he was saying it was like, this is the greatest
Oh, that's
superhero
right.
movie of all time, and it's just amazing. It's like, wow, really had us going there, Steven. That's some excellent acting on your part.
All right. I did most impressed by Dave Bautista in Knock at the Cabin.
Okay. He's gotten a lot of praise for his acting chops lately.
I was I was impressed by how he was able to do that.
Okay.
It's such a change from what we're used to seeing.
Right.
So
Okay.
Can I say special mention? And I know Chris will co-sign on this, to the entity from Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, the AI.
the AI,
Yeah, just
it's over my head.
just kidding, man.
Oh God.
All right.
Remember, it was at the party, and there was like a thing on the. Never mind. All right.
Moving on.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay, I got you. Yep. No, I got it.
Best actress.
Oh, we'll go this way then.
All right,
We'll
yeah.
We'll just keep going reverse it.
All right.
Margot Robbie and Barbie.
John.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I'd say Margot Robbie and Barbie too.
Sam.
I said Margot Robbie and Barbie as well.
And we're gonna do this a clean sweep. It's Margot
Oh
Robbie.
wow. Okay.
All right. Let's go with best director.
Just said Margot Robbie in Asteroid City. Try to be a real sad.
I did see that. I saw it with you.
She is good in that.
Yeah,
But
it's
she
not
did
bad.
it for 2 minutes. Anyway.
All right. So best director. I went with Alexander Payne, which was it the Holdovers?
Okay. John.
Yeah, for me, not even really close on this one. I'm gonna go Christopher Nolan and Oppenheimer. I just think just incredible, just bringing everything together.
Sam.
Greta Gerwig.
Okay.
I did Chris Nolan and Oppenheimer. The vision he had, I saw on the screen, so I appreciate that.
All right. Now let's get into before we get into TV, Sam mentioned this, and I do agree with doing this. He said, "What movie, I guess, beat expectations to you?" I will go first. Mine was Dungeons and Dragons. Wasn't really expecting much out of that, and it was a really funny and fun movie.
It was a fun movie. Yeah. Well, back you up on that.
All right.
I'm gonna say Blackberry was my sort of like unexpected hit for just a comedy that, I mean, it's funny too because it came out at the time when there was like 2 or 3 other like, oh, this is just a movie about a thing, like a commercial thing.
Oh, like Tetris.
Yeah, like
kinda.
Tetris or the Flamin' Hut movie or Air.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
And no, this rose above because Glenn Howerton is fucking insane. So
All right, Chris.
In every possible way, the answer is Blackberry.
Okay.
In every
okay.
possible way.
Okay.
Sorry,
Awesome.
John. You said everything, but it's you're not wrong.
Cool.
And my surprising pick was Godzilla.
Wow. Okay.
That was a weird movie for a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And they pulled that off, and it was like, oh, okay. I didn't know we could do this with a Godzilla movie.
And they did. Cool. All right. On to television. Best new TV show. Chris?
Not necessarily okay. So I have an honorable mention. Not necessarily a TV show, but I choose Jury Duty on Prime.
Okay.
It's like a limited.
I would consider that a
and
TV
then
show.
the honorable mention is Twisted Metal.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the TV. That's an actual TV show.
All right. You guys?
Sam?
John? Sam?
You can skip over me. I didn't watch enough television to have.
Oh, okay.
picks on
John.
these.
John?
I'm gonna go with Jury Duty.
All right. I thought about saying The Last of Us, but I was like, no. I'm going to go with the one that I know none of you guys have seen. One Piece on Netflix. Really, really like that show.
What is that show?
It is based on an
Animated.
anime. It's a live action, though.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
all
so
right,
it's a
all right.
live action based on an anime about pirates. It's like
Oh,
a
you
whole
were
world of
pitching us
pirates.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like it, and I'm really excited for a second season. So yeah, I went with One Piece. Best TV new to you. I'm pretty sure I started this year because it's so long. A Modern Family.
That's right. You did start that this year.
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
I have not. I know.
What season do you just?
Oh,
do
I'm
you
pretty
know?
far in.
Okay,
But
all right.
it's been a while since I've picked it up.
Did you
again.
reach the episode where they get a fridge?
I don't think so.
Okay. One of the best.
All right. I'm excited.
John?
Oh man, I don't think I have anything good this year.
No?
That's a new one. That's not like a new show. Yeah.
Okay.
Sam?
I'm assuming Sam has nothing.
I've got nothing for TV, so.
I brought this up to you guys a couple of months ago. Only Murders in the Building.
Yep.
I just started it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a
It just
really good show.
started, yeah.
I still have to finish this
Hooked.
season.
I'm hooked.
I know.
Just take it. Just take
It's
me
like-
away.
Yeah, I got to start watching more TV. I definitely stalled out right when like that show came out. I watched the first 2 episodes. I was really into it, and I just stopped watching television for a while.
Yeah, the weird certain shows, if it's like if it's not binged, if it's not like
Mhm.
released in the one day, then it's hard
Yeah.
to really kind of continue.
All right, best returning television show.
Welcome to Wrexham.
All right, John, Sam.
I'm going to talk about a show that we haven't talked about, but goddamn, I fucking love this show. Slow Horses on Apple TV with Gary Oldman. It's a British spy thriller. It's so good, dude. I fucking love it. Like Gary Oldman's just like going off, and he's just this is like sleazebag, like crumb bum. Like it's so good. You guys would love the show. It's like Apple TV. It's like on a new world. I guarantee you, if you like prodigiously like paid for a month, paid the like $9 and just like watched all the good shit, you would not regret it at all.
That's what I plan on doing when Masters of the Air comes out.
See, mine is when All of Monarch comes out.
I don't think it's all out yet, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get the 1 month free and just binge it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for Masters
you
of
go.
the Air.
Throw Slow Horses on the pile. I bet you
Slow
like it.
Horses as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do the last episode of Foundation too, just to take that box.
Sam, returning TV show?
I've explained already. I just don't have enough.
Because you should have one, because I have one that you have seen. Although maybe you didn't finish it. I went Vox Machina season 2.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which the new season should be coming up soonish. I think
Right.
they're
God,
delayed
Sam,
because of the.
Don't make me wet, please. Don't.
I think they're a little delayed because of the strike.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So it's not going to be because.
I'm not even gonna pay
remember,
attention.
they usually
Sam-
come out right around now.
Sam, you just send me the trailer just randomly one day, and I'll just like
Well,
have to step out for a little bit because it's just I cannot wait.
Yeah. And then finally, TV show you logged the most hours in. Mine was Modern Family because I had been binge watching.
Yeah,
There's
it's
many
so easy to
seasons.
rewatch too.
Yeah.
Total hours for me. I'm not sure if it hits it, but definitely of like rewatched episodes the most is going to be The Bear season 2, which was also great. Which I could also have said for a returning TV show.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Chris.
I'm gonna lump these together.
Mm-hmm.
So true crime documentaries on the Netflix.
Okay.
So like the Catching Murderers.
Yeah.
The like murder among the Mormons or whatever it was. It's like finding what happened to my wife or some things, and then like the Night Stalker. I've binge watched all of them, and I've rewatched all of them at least 3 times.
That's one
Catching
thing.
Killers, I've seen
yeah.
like the BTK episode at least 10
I'm
times.
very happy I've never gotten into those documentaries because I would get lost in those.
Oh, it's just, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's just really weird. And it doesn't make you have bad dreams. Like Criminal Minds makes me have bad dreams if I watch too much of it. This doesn't. I think I found the happy medium.
All right. And what was your other one? Or
It's just the TV shows.
just
Yeah, I'm
going
just
with that?
lumping them together because they're all
okay.
essentially all the same thing.
All right. So that was the best of the year. Now the fun part begins. This is where the fun begins, to quote Anakin Skywalker. The aluminum Jar Jars is the worst of the year 2023. Started off strong. Worst movie. Chris.
You know, I don't regret watching it, but The Blackening wasn't the worst movie of the year. I don't regret watching it. I think I bought it. But
Yeah, you did.
I don't regret that at all. But
All
it's
right.
the worst movie of the year.
Sam or John?
Mine's obvious. Rebel Moon. I hate the movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
if you say a Zack Snyder movie, you have to include one non-Zack Snyder movie too.
All right. I mean,
There's an obvious choice here, Sam.
D&D.
Oh yeah, there definitely is.
no, there's a couple,
There's a few. Well, yes, there were a few bad movies.
but I guess I'd go with 65.
Okay.
Almost said 69. That's a more interesting movie.
John, what was your least favorite?
Yeah, I could go a lot of places with this one. Tetris fried my brain. I couldn't finish Pope's Exorcist, despite Russell Crowe. I'm going to give it to Saltburn. A movie that, yeah, I don't know. I might even regret saying that. It might process differently over time, but like,
And you want me to watch this?
yes. I mean, Chris, like, it's like I only ever want you to see good movies or terrible movies, or not even terrible movies, but movies I know that are gonna physically like pain you.
So like The Lighthouse is number one.
Yeah, and I throw Saltburn on there. Although I think you would actually have like some joys at The Lighthouse, but no, this.
Yeah, Lighthouse might be like one of those sneak picks for Chris where he actually really likes it.
I need one of you guys to watch Saltburn so we can talk about it.
All right.
Sam, just do it. Just do it. It's on Prime. All right. Sorry.
All right.
Too much
And
time.
my worst pick is 65 million years ago, a visitor visited our planet, or whatever the fuck that name is. That movie was just garbage. Anyways, moving on. Worst actor.
Adam Driver in 65.
That would be my non-Zack Snyder pick.
Oh, let's.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. But no, my worst actor was Ed Skrein, or the guy who played Ajax in Deadpool. The main bad guy in Rebel Moon was just awful.
Mm.
He was just so bad. Sam, John,
I went with Chris Hannon.
Hunnam,
Charlie Hunt.
Charlie,
Hunnam.
Charlie.
Rebel Moon.
Sorry, I'm trying to read my handwriting. I'm terrible.
Well, I feel like there's a few extra syllable or letters in the word.
As I said it, I'm like, that's wrong.
It's just fitting that you have like a picture of a chimpanzee behind you.
with a pilot's helmet on.
Just like the minute he walked in, I was just like, oh, this is just bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's overselling this so much. But then again, everyone else is. But you know.
Yeah. John, who's your pick?
John's muted.
Oh, John, you are muted, by the way.
Sorry. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. My pick, and it's tough because you got to really go through the crap. I'm giving it to Ethan Isidori, I think is the word. That's how you pronounce it. He was the kid in Indiana Jones in Dial of Destiny.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Discount
That's
short round.
I know. Low rent short round.
Oh man, I forgot that character existed. Oh man.
And it's also insulting that he brings it out in the middle of our short round descents.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They should just make another one and just Kiku Wan he's just back in. Like don't even explain it. Could I start off best actress?
Yeah, go
Worst actress.
Worst actress. Go ahead, John.
Gal Gadot in The Flash. Though I've recently learned she makes an even funnier cameo appearance in Shazam, right? Does she show up at a funeral?
She shows up at the end of Shazam, yes.
With the same music going at a funeral.
Seriously, they played that at a funeral?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was like it was.
Is it that, or is it like the soft, sad?
God, thank God Gunn is back, like there to sort of right the ship.
Sure. I don't think you can write this shit.
It's just tone
This
deaf.
is it's just so bad. Anyways, I went with Sophia Boutella from Rebel Moon, the main actress. Yeah, she's awful. She can't act.
She can't. I'm not
Or
really impressed.
the choreography was bad too. For her being a dancer, like she can't do choreography. Doesn't help that it's all in slow mo.
I'm gonna go with Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Indiana Jones, which is I'm surprised nobody said Harrison Ford for this worst actor.
He wasn't that bad.
Well, he's Harrison.
He's old,
but still, it's bad.
I mean, I like.
It's like we don't want to touch him because it's royalty, you know.
But like I remember back like when we did review that movie, and I was just like, he wasn't bad. It's just you could tell he was older, especially during the flashbacks.
You're right.
Because he sounded tired.
He's typical
I think-
indie. It's just aged.
Yeah.
I think he did the best that he could have done with that.
You know what? He has that shirtless scene.
Did he break his leg while on set?
He broke
filming?
something. He's been breaking a lot of bones lately, but he's bouncing back.
He's
At least he didn't crash a plane.
It's true.
Yes.
again.
But like I said, when we did review Indy, he has that shirtless scene, and he looks really good for being in his 80s.
I thought it was 70s.
No, he's in his 80s, and he looks like that. Like I hope to look like that shirtless when I'm in my 80s. Like
I hope to look like that now.
Right.
Keep eating chili and soda and beer bread. It's not gonna happen.
I love chili. Anyways, worst actor. I feel like this is might be a clean sweep. Zack Snyder.
Worst director, you mean?
Worst director. Oh, what did I say?
All right.
Actor.
Yeah, I'm giving it to it's definitely
it's
Zack
Zack
Snyder.
Snyder. Sam, John.
John, what's yours?
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna go with who directed this movie? Louis Leterrier, who directed Fast X.
Ooh.
Did we do a most
The
most
movie you
surprising?
gave a 10?
Yeah, the movie
Yeah.
he gave a 10. Yep.
Did we do a most surprising actor, or did we do that at all, or was that just
You
movies?
can throw that in there, sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw that in there. Momoa,
Oh,
as the
like
bad guy.
True.
yeah.
True.
He was, yeah.
What a moment, just culturally.
Filmed all of his scenes offset with nobody else there. Yeah.
Did he? I wouldn't surprise me.
This whole movie was filmed with nobody together on set.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was actually like together in the location that they said they were in,
Yeah.
like at all throughout.
Like Michelle Rodriguez was like alone most of the movie.
Or her and Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were together. But yeah, I mean, it's just what happens when the entire crew is just separated for like the entire movie.
Yeah. Saves money, I
So-
guess.
Sam, director.
My worst director, I'm doing some surprising here.
Wow, not Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder's doing Zack Snyder things, okay? How can I blame him for that? Mine is, Scott Beck and Brian Woods, the directors of 65.
Okay, all right.
Like, what was the vision here? What were we going for? Why are we?
Is there possible to give an overall like just bad? Because that's what it would be.
Yeah, like at least Zack Snyder. I know what he's trying to go for. It's crap, but he's going for that.
Yeah, it's directors, it's actors, it's the people pushing it to try and get it made. That's holistically it was a problem.
So the other part of the what surprised us is what disappointed us for movies this year. Kind of like the yin to the yang of what we just did. So what was the most disappointing movie of 2023 for you?
I don't have that on my list.
I'm going 65. It should have been Adam Driver fighting dinosaurs. And that's not what we got.
Well, we got him fighting something
They weren't dinosaurs.
for dinosaurs, but there was one cool fight scene, and that was in the cave.
Yeah. But the Oviraptor just like running
And
around.
the whole thing was shot on that like echo device thing.
Yeah. And that was pretty cool. Other than that,
Cool.
it sucked.
My most disappointing, and I know I'm gonna get some heat for this, but I was actually disappointed with this movie, Sisu.
Okay. All right.
I thought it should have gone to 11. We only went to 8.
Yeah. Sorry, Sam.
Well, that's why I'm here.
The minefield wasn't cool enough for you.
Yeah, we got that in the trailer, and like the cool thing we got in the trailer, like everything else was just not that cool.
And no one yells Sisu like in the trailer.
Yeah.
Sisu! Anyways, John, most disappointing movie.
This is tough.
I'm with
You know what? I'm gonna be bold here. Maybe let's say Asteroid City. I just
That
didn't.
makes sense.
Some
Yeah.
people really like it, and I haven't revisited it yet. Maybe I will in time. I just was not my favorite. Well, I mean, obviously, but not the movie I was hoping it would be.
Okay.
I'll back you up on that, John. Our review was kind of similar, where it's just like, what was this?
Yeah, maybe I'll figure it out. You know,
Someday.
I got time.
Chris?
I don't really have everything. Everything sort of fell where.
Wow, there's
Where I
nothing that you were
thought it
really excited
would.
for.
I mean,
You were happy where Fast X fell.
oh yeah, I was not expecting. Well, I was not expecting like
Okay.
Fast Five, Sean. Come on.
It's not expecting cinema art.
I mean, I guess Rise of the Beast, Transformers
Okay.
could have been a little disappointing, but like I
But
knew
it's a
it was
Transformers
already
movie.
wicked low on my expectations. So let's just go with that. I
Rise
was
of the Beast was the one that ends with G.I. Joe, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
how can you be disappointed with that?
Because it's still a 2-hour movie that you have to sit through just to get to that one scene.
Still,
All right, let's move.
Moving on to television. Worst new TV show.
Secret Invasion.
See, I got worse than that. John, do you have one, or Sam?
No.
John, do you have a bad TV?
Ahsoka.
Okay.
You didn't finish it either, so.
I went with Velma.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, yeah. Well, you're the only one to watch that.
Yeah, that
I
was-
didn't even take the chance. With
No,
that
I
one.
took that chance. I took that chance, and my God, is it bad? Anybody have a worst TV that's new to you?
No, because I never would have.
Yeah,
I never
same
would have watched
here.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't
a
know
weird
if you
case.
We might have to nix this category.
We might
from
have to
the
nix that.
file.
Unless John. did
Yeah.
you-
Do you want to maybe just say what TV show lost you?
All right.
Give up on anything.
Any TV shows you guys give up on?
I guess at the beginning of the year, the Fargo season.
Okay.
Right, John? That would have carried over from last year, right? The Chris Rock Fargo.
That was like 2 years ago, dude.
Oh, never mind then. Disregard.
That was
Okay.
like that can't. No way that was before 2022 or earlier than 22.
No, nothing lost me then.
Secret Invasion lost me.
But that was just
That was
one
this
season,
year.
1 year.
Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know if I don't watch enough shows. Actually, you know what?
TV's
You know what
tricky.
show that,
TV's
like,
tricky.
I fell off, and I probably should try getting back on, but it's like been a struggle. Is Bob's Burgers? I have not watched that. In
Well,
a
it's going the way of
while.
The Simpsons. It's gonna be on for
It's-
45 years.
Yeah, it's tough when like the show is on for like 10 plus years. It's like,
Yeah.
do you really lose it? I mean, like, you know,
Well,
No,
I
you leave and
binged-
come back.
I binged watched up until the new episodes were being released, and then for probably a good year to 2 years, I was watching like the day after as they were coming out, and like I want to say this year I just stopped doing that altogether,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty far behind right now.
actually, I have two things here. I actually have a like worst returning TV show, even though I didn't like hate it, but like I do kind of want to. Although I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it with Crown Corner later. I did not particularly care for this last season of The Crown. Of just like, again, almost not to repeat myself from Maestro, like the framing of it, to like spend so much time with, to a certain extent, Diana, but really the like Will and Kate stuff was like borderline like a Lifetime movie. And I'll tell two shows that like I came close to giving up, not giving up on, but like almost there. It pains me to say it, like What We Do in the Shadows, like the juice like wasn't really always there this season. I'm glad it's like one more and then that's it.
Yeah.
And also For All Mankind, like I'm like just now finishing, but it's like it's taken a couple whacks to get through the season.
Mm. And we're on returning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Archer.
Worst returning is Archer for you.
It's not that good
I'm
right
working
now.
my way through the most recent season of Archer. The new agent that they like introduced, hate her.
Yeah, I can't.
So annoying.
The
British
Is it
lady?
Lana? She's not in the field anymore. So
No,
it's
she's
annoying.
the director now, but she does go in the field.
The episodes, whatever. Either way, Archer's
Either
not
way,
as good as it
one
was.
more
so.
season of Archer left.
Yep, same thing.
But my worst returning was How I Met Your Father. I mean, season 1 was garbage, but it was my garbage. One of those
That's
shows
fine.
where
Everybody's
it's like,
got their own garbage.
We all have that. To quote Jim Gaffigan, we all have our own McDonald's.
All right. Shows, movie themes.
You hope you die and never come back.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything?
Yeah.
For that one?
I do, and I think I've been saying this 3 years in a row, 5 years in a row. The Walking Dead verse.
Oh God, yes.
Because I just saw a trailer. Well, I didn't see a trailer, but
there's the
new trailer for Michonne.
Yeah, Rick and Michonne. Yeah.
No, we're
Just
done.
end it.
Let's
end it.
go. We're over. Because it wasn't Daryl. Daryl has his own show, and then Negan had a show. And
was it Negan? Yeah, Negan has a show.
I don't know. We're done. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. Let's just move on.
End it.
Move along.
Just do what the comic books did and just end it.
That's fine by me. Anybody
have any like shows or like trends that you
you
want to end?
Mine's a little no shit, Sam. That's like everything, but I just felt like this year was particularly bad with it. Good ideas, bad execution. It felt like there was, I could name 3 off the top of my head movies that were like, okay, that's not a bad idea, and then I saw them, I'm like, this is terrible. 65.
Yep.
Sisu, which wasn't terrible, but I thought it could have been better, and Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, those were movies where I'm just like, this could work.
Yeah.
It's just not doing it right.
I mean, especially with like the Demeter, like that one just wasn't advertised correctly, and like the movie could have been better. I mean, we explained why in our podcast, but like that movie should have like been towards the top end of my list of movies for the year and ended up just falling in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand that. Yeah. It's like some of these like projects like Demeter that like you have an original idea based off of existing material and you still half-ass it. Like, how do you do that? So I guess I'm on the boat with Sam. Like, how do you half-ass something like that? Like this could, I mean, stuff like this always happens. So where it's like, oh, it's like, you know, this chapter of this book, we're gonna go into more depth about it, or you know what? One show that like pissed me off, The Terror, not of this year, but like in the past, where it's just like this should be a good idea. And it's just horribly.
Yeah, it wasn't well
both
executed.
Seasons.
Well, the second season with the
Spirit.
The Spirit. That was pretty. I was better than the first season.
Yeah. I didn't finish either season.
Oh, really?
I started both of them.
Oh,
I couldn't finish either one.
First season ended. It's just weird. But
it's a good idea, and it's just executed horribly.
Yeah.
On both times.
Yep. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
can I don't like going negative too much.
Okay.
But can I give kudos out to a couple?
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple things. So the first one I want to give kudos out to is Disney.
All right.
Holistically Disney. They've gotten to a huge amount of fire by stepping into certain waters with some social issues over the past couple of years. And, you know, I think they might have learned from their mistakes. And since the Jonathan Majors issues started like coming out a little bit, like he was charged and accused, charged, and then
just like
before he went, but they didn't cut ties. So all like people were calling for, you know, the firings and letting him go and everything, and his sponsors were leaving him, and I think his agent might have left him as well. Like people were dropping him just based on the accusations, and Disney didn't do anything. They just let it stay as is. They didn't say anything. They just let it ride and go through how the process of how things work. And now eventually he's found guilty, and and I don't know what I forget whatever it was, but Disney has now since done what it needed to do, but they waited. They didn't step into the murky water and cave into certain things. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Let the things play out, because how many times have we seen we're now starting to see these things like where things come out and then it's guilty until accused. And then now you have, I think in baseball there's some guy like suing because defamation because like the girl held him for money, wanted to get money, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. We're starting to get to these weird. I don't want to say we're always in this, and obviously you want to, be sympathetic, but like Disney, I think did it right this time. Like waited until like these are serious things, and then waited until like the courts ran their system, and then that was it. Then they did what they needed.
I mean, we're definitely seeing a transition from the way how a lot of people acted during the height of the hashtag Me Too movement to now, because like one of the people that comes up to my mind when I think of like guilty until proven innocent was the comedian Chris Hardwick, the guy who did the Talking Dead after the Walking Dead. How he was accused by an ex-girlfriend about being abusive and blah blah blah, and like AMC, like they let him go, like relieved him of his duties and whatnot. And then it just all came out that like there's zero evidence of him like being this way, and the accuser refused to work with anybody to provide them with any evidence, and eventually he was reinstated, but like his career's basically been over.
He does
like,
the drop now, I think. Is what it was.
Like nowhere now.
And that's why I'm saying, like, kudos to Disney. Let things kind of play out a little bit instead of not necessarily jumping the gun.
Right.
But I mean, kudos goes also around. I don't like them, but the Ezra Miller thing and Warner Brothers, they didn't necessarily drop them. They just like put them away in a dark drawer for a little while. He did
not do any. Was it
press?
Yeah.
Nothing. And I think he might have showed up to. Did he show up to a red carpet?
I think he was there for the red carpet.
But like he was put away. And then like that's the way you handle things. You don't just go off and just cut ties and fire and all this other stuff. Like you wait until things play out a little bit and then do it. So kudos. I'll give kudos to them where it's needed. I was impressed by that.
All right.
And I only thought of that because I think Hulu has a thing on Jonathan Majors.
Oh boy.
Like an interview or something. I didn't watch it or click on it, but it looks like. But that just reminded me.
All right. Any final thoughts from you guys?
I have a thing to stop.
Okay.
You see this mostly with TV pilots, but TV pilots starting in the middle of the story and then flashing back.
Oh yeah.
It's everything now. It's one of those random things that just like is nails on the chalkboard to me, but. I might have even said this last year. I don't know. I'm just really, I'm over it.
What are you talking about? So,
any examples?
So starting a story and then flashing back halfway through the season,
the pilot,
and the pilot, like the pilot has an opening scene, and then it's like one day earlier or something like that.
Oh, I
know what I mean. Yeah. I can't think of anything specific. I mean, it's very numerous. Like you'll see this a lot too with season, like the first episodes of season 2.
Yeah, that was The Crown this year.
Did we have that? Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode of the season. Was,
with the car going in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's something about it's just a little lazy to me. And now it's just
you're right.
It's doing it too.
It is lazy. It's lazy writing. It really is. Using time.
It's one of those things that like
flashbacks.
Was cool like when people, but now like when everyone does it, it's like okay, kind of loses its effect.
Ooh, I got one that things that people need to stop doing, and I only notice it because of something on my wall. People need to stop retconning shit. Like, no, it like pisses me off.
Example.
All right, so this is my example of how 2023 was retconned. There's plenty of other things. This is a warning to everyone. I'm about to nerd out. Like this is a nerd out warning.
So we don't nerd on this podcast.
No, of course
going really long.
So
dude.
I know. This is my little nerd out moment. And then
we are long.
So This past year, 2023, Marvel released a bunch of one-shot comic books about different characters in the Star Wars universe, one of which was Max Rebo. In the Max Rebo book, which I purchased because I like it.
Can we say who Max Rebo is?
Max Rebo of the Max Rebo Band is Jabba the Hutt's, like the leader of the band that plays in Return
which
of
is
the
a
Jedi.
Star Wars thing.
Star Wars, yes.
And what kind of music does he play, Sean?
He plays jizz. I love that.
That was great.
I love that. So, anyways, he is a jizz musician, but he plays it's like a piano organ thing that he plays. He is seen in a bunch of scenes and stuff. He's that blue elephant guy. So I always really liked Return of the Jedi. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. So I've always loved the Jabba the Hutt's palace thing. So Max Rebo has always been like a little soft spot for me, where I have his pop. I noticed it on the wall. So when the comic book came out that, hey, we're doing a Max Rebo, I was like, yeah, I'm all in on this. It's a one shot. It's not like it's a 7-part. No, it's one issue. I'll check it out. And so they retconned that Max Rebo now only has 2 limbs, which are his feet, that he uses to play the instrument that he does, which is really weird because everything that I have of Max Rebo, like I said, the pop or anything else, he's got 2 legs, 2 arms, and he uses his arms. I've gone back and I thinking I was crazy, watched the movie, and no, he has arms and legs, but for whatever reason, if you go on the internet, he now only has 2 legs that he plays the organ for. It's so bizarre.
I kind of hate how they're doing this shit now, though. I'll be with you, Sean.
Yeah.
The fact that they're redefining stupid weird things that no one actually talked about before.
Yeah.
From the original movies. That's oh no, there's a no. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
But
I was surprised the one shot wasn't about Max Rebo being bisexual and his wife dying of cancer.
But there's already a character design and things going out about it. There's been action figures, pop figures of that design. Why redesign him? What was the purpose for that?
And on a related note, who do you think is the most likely person in the Star Wars universe to be bi?
I think everybody believes it's Lando.
Lando.
Yeah. No,
Lando,
especially
Lando swings every which way.
Especially Donald Glover Lando is definitely I endorse that 100%. Okay.
Yeah. All right,
I think that's a good point to end it.
Yeah. That's my little thing. Stop retconning stuff.
Okay.
We just retconned Lando.
No. Billy D. Williams.
You've never had that vibe about Lando.
Billy D. Williams.
I did. Yeah.
He's in for everything.
That's not retcon. That's just admitting what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Folks,
anyways,
we're gonna wrap this up here.
Yep.
So next week,
ask DM Numb. Just ask him.
We're gonna
Lobot's his guy.
No, Lobot's been sworn to secrecy.
Jeez. All right, we're gonna end it now.
Oh man, I don't want to go down this path.
All right. Next week we're gonna continue with some more movies. All right, for
more
20 more Oscar style movies here.
Are we gonna do our preview next week?
And we're gonna throw together a preview. I don't know if it will be next. I don't know if it will be next week, but it will be soon. I guess if you like all these, if you guys want us to review anything specific for year end, you can send us a message on Facebook. We'll take a look at it there. Facebook.com/NightsTheDirtDude. That does it for us for this week. We might do it live next week. So until next time.
Bye.
Adios.